Hi there, and welcome to this short demonstration of Nomi. Now, before we get started, just to give you a brief introduction, Nomi is a cloud-based accounting suite consisting of bookkeeping, payroll, final accounts, self-assessments, CRM, practice management, and company secretarial. So it literally does everything a practice needs within a single software. And jumping straight in, the screen you can see here is our dashboard, and this dashboard's been designed with accountants and bookkeepers in mind, and it's the first screen you'll see every time you log in. And on here you can see your clients grouped by entity type and service type, and you can actually drill down into each of these numbers, so you can quickly navigate and filter to see specific clients. And you've also got the same for deadlines, but this time grouped by time period and service type. So we've got final accounts, corporation tax, confirmation statements, VAT, payroll, CIS, SA, and partnership tax returns. So if I wanted to see all of my final accounts due within the next 2 months, I can click on that too, open it up, and you'll see the two sets of accounts. Now, the beauty of Nomi is that practice management is combined into all aspects of the software. So from here, I can see the year start date, the year end date, and the deadline date, and I can actually drill down into this to then see the set of final accounts, and I could quickly go in and submit it to Companies House if I wanted to, and I could also submit the corporation tax return to HMRC. Now, coming all the way back to the agent screens, so back to the dashboard. Along the top here, you've also got your KPIs that if you can keep them down to 0, then you're maximizing your efficiencies within Nomi. So this is the number of businesses without bank feeds. So the idea is that you want to have every business with a bank feed. This is the number of pending receipts that need bookkeeping, the number of unreconciled bank transactions, self-assessments without links. So the beauty of Nomi is that we actually link self-assessments with final accounts, with payroll profiles, and bookkeeping profiles for dividends. So as you do the bookkeeping, as you run the payroll, all linking into a self-assessment and populating the relevant fields for you. And then we've also got businesses without business users. So you can actually provide your clients with their own login so that they can do their own bookkeeping. Now, if I was to drill down into the businesses without bank feeds or the pending receipts, so we're going to pending receipts, you can see your clients down the left side and the number of unprocessed receipts that you have. And you can actually then go in and drill down into a client, which will take you to the receipt capture process so that you can begin bookkeeping. So here we've got the file name, and we can view that, or we can begin going through the add receipt process. So I'll just go through the add receipt process to show you exactly how that works. So a picture of your receipt will show up on the right-hand side, and if it was a receipt, then Nomi's OCR technology would read it automatically for you, but in this case, it's not. So we'll go ahead and press search. What you would normally have is the real date and the amount. You'll press search, and then it will search for a duplicate in the system. But in this case, there's no transaction there, so I could send a query and attach this image to an email that can be sent directly to my client, and I can essentially say, "Oh, what is this? I'm not entirely sure." Or you can add the new receipt manually. So by selecting add new receipt manually, it takes you to the bookkeeping process. So this is similar to like HubDoc or Dext or Auto Entry, if you're familiar with any of those. So yeah, here we can then go ahead and select the supplier, the bill number, date, notes, and we can also select the expense type. Oh, if I can spell, there you go. So we'll go £500 and select the VAT rate as standard rate. Yep, so then we'll go ahead and press save. And then in the supplier bills, so expenditure, we'll go ahead and try and find that transaction. So 31st of January 2024, and the bill number was 12345. Okay, so we found that bill number, so we can see it's all been book kept, and at any time you can then go back and see the document, and that will show up the image that you attached to that line item. Now, we're actually in the bookkeeping profile now, so you have all of your standard functionality. I won't bore you too much, but if you would like to explore it in more detail before signing up, then we do offer a free trial. So I highly recommend having that free trial for 14 days and testing it out and seeing exactly how it works. But you can raise sales invoices, and we actually have open banking technology so that you can request and receive payments of up to £250,000 absolutely free right now. But we also have a feature called Nomi Pay, which is built in payment functionality. So you can take payment via debit card, credit card, Apple Pay, Google Pay, and direct debit. And that's all available within Nomi just by enabling it in the settings. And you'll see on the left menu here we've got Nomi Pay. But essentially the benefit of that is the fact that when you raise an invoice, you will have a Pay Now button that your client can click, and that will be available via any means that you send the invoice to your client, whether it be email, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, or any other platform you may use. Okay, so once they actually click Pay Now and follow the payment process, they'll be presented with the option to pay via debit card or bank transfer. And then once they process payment, which is a seamless process their end, this will be automatically updated as paid, and the amount will go into Nomi Pay to show that the transactions come in. But also the bank transaction will be automated. So a transaction will go into Nomi Pay's bank, and you would then get paid out to your bank, and the whole process of reconciliation is completely automated. So it actually saves a lot of the sales ledger control process, and it reduces the chance of human error in terms of reconciling payments. So I highly recommend having a look at that. There are videos on YouTube if you want to see exactly how that works. Okay, so you can raise new invoices, repeat invoices, batch entries. I won't go into too many of them in much detail because they're all fairly standard across all software nowadays. But yeah, as you enter your sales invoices and supplier bills, the VAT returns will automatically populate so that you can then submit them to Companies House. Sorry, H. So within banking, this is a real efficiency driver. We do have bank feeds, and that allows you to pull through transactions on a daily basis into Nomi directly from your bank account. So all you would have to do is go up to new, set up new bank feeds. By doing that, you'll see the wide range of different bank accounts we support. So NatWest, Halifax, Monzo are on there. You got HSBC Business, Cash Plus. There are a wide range of banks that we support. And then once the bank transactions are in the system, you would then go into unreconciled transactions to see them all. And at this point, this is where you would be able to begin allocating nominal codes and essentially reconciling the bank statements. So there's no transactions in here at the moment. Let me just change the year. Bear with me. Okay, so I don't have any transactions here at the moment to show you. However, what you can do is create bank rules. So here you've got this new rule, and you can apply the rule if a bank description contains certain text. So if you always found that HMRC frequently appeared in your bank statement and it was always the same thing, you could then type in the description HMRC and then select your nominal code, corporation tax. So we could say that's always a payment to corporation tax payable. We could say there's no VAT on that, and we want to apply that to money spent. So when you press save and then run the rules, it will look through all of your bank transactions that meet that criteria, and it will automatically apply the VAT rate and the expense type. So that is a really useful feature. We do also have suggestive matching as well. So if there is a sales invoices that matches to a potential bank line item, then it will suggest the match. So moving on to the final accounts. There's a lot more in bookkeeping, but like I said, if you'd like to see more detail, then take a free trial or book a personal one-to-one demo, and you can ask all of your questions there. But within final accounts, where Nomi is a completely integrated system, as you do the bookkeeping, as you run the payroll, the final accounts are automatically produced. So all of the numbers link across to this. And to show you, you can actually drill down into each and every one of these numbers, and you can see exactly what's behind them. So when you're doing your comparative analysis, this will save you so much time because you can see the current year, you can see the previous year, and you can quickly identify what's gone wrong or what needs moving to another nominal code. And if you do decide that something needs moving, then we could drill down into, say, Homer, and it will take me back to the bookkeeping. So I can then quickly make that change and move a transaction to a different nominal code. So again, revolutionizing the process of actually producing a set of accounts. If you wanted to edit all of these notes, the content is all editable. You can do so within note templates and account settings. Now, we produce accounts for FRS 105 and FRS 1021A. So for majority of companies, it's just the larger companies that we wouldn't support. Yeah, and then we've got the full accounts as well. Yeah, so on the full accounts, we can scroll down. We've got slightly more information. So again, we can drill down into all of the numbers. And this is just the beauty of Nomi. It just makes it so easy to review. It reduces the amount of errors that could occur, and it makes your life easier. Yeah, and then once you're happy, like I said before, submit that, and you can submit the corporation tax return as well. But the corporation tax return is automatically populated. We do several things automatically for you because we recognize you will be doing it most of the time. So we add back depreciation, amortization, and we claim AIA automatically on asset purchases so that you're not having to do that manually every time. However, if you did want to overwrite that, you can change the numbers and you can reduce them, you can remove them, you can do whatever you like. Okay, so that's the final accounts and corporation tax. Within payroll, so I'll just navigate to payroll here. Actually, I'm going to go back into the bookkeeping profile and select payroll on the left menu because then I can show you exactly the same company. So the beauty of payroll is there's so many efficiency rich features. The main one is automated director payroll. It can be used for payroll with more than one employee or more than one director. However, this is really designed for those payrolls that stay the same every month and they're not really changing. Okay, so this payroll has quite a few employees. However, if I wanted to set up an automated payroll, I could go into Edit Company. And then I could go to Payroll Details, Payroll Settings, and I can enable this automatic payroll. As you can see, it's already enabled. But if we go into Email Settings, so here it's saying by clicking Enable, your payroll will be filed automatically. Great, it's already doing that. And this will email the main contact and it will send them an employer's summary. Okay. And I can edit the settings if I wanted to. So how should the payslips be sent to the main contact? Which email would you like to add as the reply to option when sending an email? If you leave it blank, then it will just send it to the default email. And at what time would you like to receive the email? So this is the email that you would like to send to the main contact. Should an employer's summary be emailed to the main contact? So the employer's summary essentially details exactly what needs to be paid to HMRC and when it needs to be paid. Okay. In addition to the automated payroll, we also have tax code downloads. So with the tax code downloads, you can actually download tax codes directly from HMRC into Nomi. So you can do that by going to reports, and you can do that on a business level by going to data provisioning service. But you can also do it for all of your clients. And to do that, you would go to reports on the agent level and go to payroll, and you've got data provisioning services here. So depending on how you want to run your practice and your process, you can do it on an agent level, download them all at one go for every single client, apply all of the updates, and then go in and run payroll. Or you can do it on a one-to-one basis. We also do automated journals to bookkeeping. So in this case, the bookkeeping profile is linked to the payroll profile, and the journal will automatically be posted every time a payroll was ran. So if we run this payroll on the 29th of February 2024, okay, so we can review that, we can edit and make any changes if we wanted to, but I'm just going to go ahead and run the payroll. So that's just taking a moment. It shouldn't take much longer. Okay, so that payroll has been ran successfully. So if I go to journals, you can see here now the journal has been posted on the 29th of February, and we can click preview to see exactly what's been posted. So 28,160. And if we go to reports in the bookkeeping profile now, and I can tell that because this is BK and this is payroll, PR, we can go to the profit and loss. I'll have to change the year to make sure I'm in the right year. Yep. So now if I go into the employee salary expense, we should see a transaction for February. There you go. So the February transaction, 12,666 and 66p. And if we click on the transaction number, we can see exactly what's been posted. So that matches from the payroll module. Okay. So there are many other features, like I said, but I want to keep this demo short. As always, if you want to find out more, have a demo, a one-to-one demo, or a free trial. And the other main features you've got here is the fact that the employer can log into Nomi. They can log in on the web-based version, which is similar to this. I'll show you the employer view. And here they'd see various parts of Nomi. So they can see the employee expense claims, the leave management, and they can also approve payroll. So you can have an approval process. But it's all by giving the employer access to Nomi, it kind of becomes a HR system for them, because they can see all of the employee details, they can see and approve expense claims, and they can also decline expense claims, and they can also approve and decline annual leave, and they can see a history of all of the annual leave taken as well. And the employees can log in and they have their own access. And not only that, they also have access to our mobile app. So we have 3 mobile apps, one for payroll, one for bookkeeping, and one for self-assessment. Okay, so that's all for payroll. So moving on to the last module, we've got self-assessment. So, but if I go to dashboard, the self-assessment for us is purely designed for accountants and bookkeepers, in the sense that we thought about your entire workflow. So on the dashboard, you can see here we've got a table of all members of staff in the practice and every tax return status that could possibly exist. And then we've got the system of being able to drill down into each of the numbers individually to see exactly what stage each of the tax returns are at. So if I wanted to see all of the tax returns assigned to Ash Hall that have been sent for approval, I can click this one and it will then show me that tax return. So Lisa Barney, and we've got tax due of 27,432. It's been sent for approval, but it hasn't been submitted just yet. So we can drill down into this self-assessment, and then that will open up their profile. And this is where I can begin linking it to various different modules. I could link it to 3 or 4 different payroll profiles if they all exist within Nomi. I can download data directly from HMRC. So things like pension information, payroll details that HMRC have that your client may not have told you about, and other aspects. So that will be up here in the Get Data from HMRC section. Yeah, so we've got employment income, pension, benefits, self-employment income support scheme grants. Yeah. We do also have a self-assessment tax questionnaire, which you can send to all of your clients. And essentially it will be a series of different questions that they can answer, which will then come back to Nomi. And you can do that by going to dashboard and sending the tax questionnaire. So this is the process where you'd be able to review what gets sent and who it gets sent to. So this is the email that will be sent. And then these are the questions. And you can untick the questions if you like, if you don't want to ask them. And you can also add additional questions if you wanted to. Okay. And then once you get the response to that, the question will be, the answers will be within this import data from questionnaire section. And the status will be updated to say from questionnaire sent to questionnaire received. And all of the information will be here, and then you can populate the tax return with it. So we've really thought about the entire process, from gathering the information to populating the tax return and ultimately filing it with HMRC. So once you go through and enter all of the information, I'll just show you bank interest, and then I'll also show you the employment side in the self-assessment. So you can edit and begin adding all of these details. But if we go into employment, you also have the option of linking. And then you'd be able to search your payroll profiles. In the top right-hand corner here, you can then select link employment or add a new employment income, which would be the manual process of doing it. But if we select link employment, we'll then have the option to search for existing employees throughout the whole of Nomi's payroll. So search Ash. Let's see if I pop up. If not, I may need to give up on this. But there you go. So Ash Hall exists in ABC Limited, Numisma Ash Testing, Numisma Solution Limited, Payroll Journals, etc., etc., etc. And just by selecting this button here, it will link that profile and add it to the self-assessment, as long as the POE reference and everything exists. So let's check if that works. Great, yep. So ABC Test Limited has been added. There was no pay, so nothing has been added from that perspective. But you can see that it was linked because there's a tick here. And then, yeah, once you're happy with the self-assessment, you can then go ahead, validate the submission. So to validate, you go to submit to HMRC, and then you have the option to validate it. And then once validated, that will give you a success message, whether or not it'll be successfully filed with HMRC or it will fail. And then at that point, you can then go ahead and send it to your client for e-signing. So we do have e-signing within Nomi as well. So here. And what this will do is it will send your client an email with a link. They'll be able to click the link, review their self-assessment, and they'll be able to e-sign the self-assessment as well. It's e-signed. Nomi will automatically update to say that the tax return has been signed. The signed document will be stored within documents, and then you'll be notified that you can then proceed with filing the self-assessment. So end to end, we cover the whole process. And the self-assessment signed document will be stored here as well. And then you can go ahead and submit to HMRC, and you're done. So, yeah, I hope you found this useful. If you do have any other questions or queries, or if you'd like to see anything else about Nomi, then please do book in a one-to-one demo with one of our team. You can do that by visiting the Nomi website and selecting book a demo, or you can take a free trial here. So take a free trial for 14 days or book a demo, and please do find out more. If you do have any questions or queries, you can also call us. The phone number to dial is 020-3021-2326, and you can just have a conversation with us and ask us a few questions. Yeah, we welcome them. And I haven't shown you the CRM system today, but there are other videos that you can see, and you can also have a demonstration of that as well. But the CRM system is great because you can manage your leads, you can generate quotes, proposals, and letters of engagement with our pricing matrix built in. After the letter of engagement has been signed, we do have an end-to-end onboarding process as well, which covers 648 agent authorization requests to HMRC, professional clearance letters to the previous accountant, and gathering the information that you require in order to service the client. And then after that, we've got so much more functionality around client management, including portals, document portals, that is. And we've got a few automated features to help make your life a little bit easier, such as automated KYC, which can do the KYC process automatically for you every 3 years or whatever frequency you decide you would like to go ahead with. And we do also have automated confirmation statement filings, which can be completely self-service, and it gets your client involved to confirm whether or not it's correct or not. Yeah, I highly recommend having a look at that. And as always, if you have any questions, please do get in touch. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you found this useful. Bye.